Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can register your NGO by yourself. So if you are somebody that is looking to register a not-for-profit organization or a charity organization, but you don't have a lot of money because it's expensive to register, but you want to register, and the CAC has given people the opportunity to be able to register their own companies or their own NGOs by themselves without an accredited agent, then this video is specifically for you. You want to watch this video to the end. Show you how you can apply for availability, how the steps that are involved in registering the NGO, the requirements, the cost of registering the NGO, and get it. So let's just get right into the video. Now, the first things first is you need to apply for consent. So if you're applying for consent, let's assume you just want to register your NGO. You already have in mind the name. So you need three name options and you need the details of all the trustees. Now, I did a video where I shared how to register association and NGOs or churches. I'm going to put the link in the description where I talked about the kind of trustees that should be allowed in an NGO, and the requirements for a valid trustee. And then you want to watch that video to have a more detailed understanding of it. So in order to apply for consent, you just go to their website. Is www.cac.gov.ng. You click on it and then you do name available.
Okay, so you go to the portal. If you already have like a username, you just put in your password. If you don't, you can create one. And then I'm just going to go, you can see new name reservation, and then you see the classification as to what type of company, and then I'm going to click on incorporated trustees. Then I'm going to click on incorporated trustees again. Let's just assume that the name of the foundation is Joy Foundation. I'm just going to put that right there. I'm just going to type Joy Foundation. Okay, so I'll just put that right there. And then maybe for the second option, you can tweak it a bit, just to give it, let's just have, just in case the first one is not approved, the second one can be approved. I'm just going to put Joy initiative. And then the third one is a bit different, is a bit longer, and I'm just going to put that. The reason for is either change of name, is it name substitution, or is it new incorporation. So you just click on new incorporation because it's a new company. Then you see the apply for consent code, you click on it. Then when you come to this select classification, you see cultural based association, foundation based, community based association. I'm going to click on the foundation based because what we're trying to register is a foundation. And then I'm just going to do like a short description of what the foundation is all about. You can easily put maybe the first object, even if it is a bit long, you can still put it. You can see here that you're supposed to fill in all this information. You see the state where it's supposed to be located, Abuja. You can see that even in the object I put for the welfare of less privileged children. And then the address, make sure that it has a number, an address that is easily identifiable. If it's not easy, at least let it have a proper description. After that, you see here that they have the next thing is the constitution. So you put the minimum number of you fill in the minimum and the maximum. The custodian of the common seal is there, the governing body, application of funds, and then keeping of accounts. Here you can see after the constitution, you put the aims and objectives. You put who the trustees are. You put the before you will not need, in this stage you will not need to upload documents. So you just put the names and information of all the trustees
For the consent and it has approved, the next step will be to do your newspaper publication. So if you're doing a newspaper publication, it has to be within the vicinity that the NGO is going to be operating within. So it shouldn't be in another state. It should be in the state where the NGO is going to be operating. So once you do the newspaper publication, it has to last for 28 days. So you have to start counting 28 days from the day that the newspaper was published. Now, inscription. So once the 28 days has elapsed, what you need to do is you need to upload the remaining documents. Now, this is a caveat, or this is a warning. Like when you're putting your application for consent for availability, for the name of the NGO. Make sure that any information that you're putting, whether it's the trustees information or their details or the constitution or meetings or quorum or anything like that, make sure that you do it carefully. Fill the form painstakingly. Take your time to fill it and review it again, because any error or mistake that you make cannot be corrected. I've experienced it multiple times. Okay, I've made that mistake, so I don't want you to make that mistake. So when you're filling the form, make sure you fill it carefully, because once it's approved, you can't make any other changes. It has to be after it is registered. So once you've done that, you've gotten your publication, you've waited 28 days, it's now time for you to upload all your documents. You have to upload ID cards of all the trustees, your paper publication, your constitution, your minutes of meetings, and then your application and trustees declaration and their signatures. So you have to take note of that. In my toolkit, I gave samples of all the constitutions, meetings, quorums, and every other thing or every other information that you might be needing for that registration. So you have to upload all those information to the CAC portal. Now, once you upload it, if there's no query, then probably your NGO will be registered. So that's the registration for NGO. Very simple, very straightforward. So it takes at least 6 weeks, and that's the time I like to put, because if you start counting 28 days from when it is published, and you know that once you do your availability, it may not be approved, it may be queried, or it may be denied. So it takes the minimum of 6 weeks and upward. So you want to bear in mind that it's not something that is rushed, or it's not something that is automatic. So it takes a little bit of time compared, to other companies. Now, the cost of registration is not like limited, it's more expensive. So the availability is like five plus the remitter charges, and then the registration itself is about 37,000, I presume. Yeah, 37,000, or in that 37,500. Let's just say 38,000. Let's just round it up to 38,000. And then the publication, you have to do a newspaper publication. It depends on the publication, but let's go from like 10,000 upwards for each publication. And then the declaration, it has to be stamped by notary public or in the high court. So you have to factor all that charges. So you are looking at roughly 70 to 80,000 that you're going to spend if you do the registration by yourself. Okay, if you have to involve accredited agent or a lawyer, definitely is going to cost you more. So you want to bear that in mind. And yes, can you register it by yourself? That is why I did this video. You can't register it by yourself. Still watching this video till this time, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. It helps the channel and it encourages us to keep pushing out content like this. Until I see you guys in my next video, don't forget to check the description in this video. Thank you guys for watching. Until I see you guys in my next video. Bye.